Thank you for clicking into our video. So this video we'll be talking about heart disease prediction from Group 3 for Assignment 3. So the team members for Group 3 are Chong Kar Min, Tracy, Liaw, and Low Wei Jie. Inside this video we'll be talking about 4 parts. That is the first part, model and dataset, the second part, machine learning algorithm, the third part, model development, and the fourth part, model evaluation. So my name is Tracy Liaw with matrix number 287944, and I'll be starting off with part 1 for model and dataset. In part 1, we'll be talking about 4 criteria including the purpose, the objective, the data descriptions, and the predicted insights. For the purpose, it is to predict the risk of developing coronary heart disease within the next 10 years based on specific features or risk factors. For the objective is to develop a model that can accurately classify individuals as either having or not having coronary heart disease based on their features. The dataset chosen will be having 15 attributes including the targeted variable, which is the 10-year risk of coronary heart disease. It has a total record of 4,238 rows. The dataset will be further divided into 4 parts including the demographic, the behavioral, the history medical, and the current medical status. So the last part will be the predicted insights. So the first predicted insight is to able to identify the significant risk factors. The developed model will be able to determine the strongest association factors with heart disease development. It will be able to understand the underlying mechanisms and risk factors for disease. The second predicted insights will be able to develop a predictive model. The model will be able to classify individuals accurately according to the risk of developing heart disease. It will be able to be used for early detections, preventions, and intervention strategies. And finally, it will be able to assess the model's performance. It will be able to assess how well the model is able to predict the occurrence of heart disease. It is also able to determine the reliability and usefulness of the model in a real-world scenario. So that's all for part 1.
Good day, sir. My name is Low Wei Jie with matrix number 289669. Today, I'm going to present about the machine learning algorithm that we apply in our assignment. So, to perform the machine learning algorithm, we apply the logistic regression. It is a binary classification algorithm that is able to predict the outcome of a categorical dependent variable from a dataset of predictor, also known as the independent variables. Then, we can estimate the probabilities using the logistic function. So what are the characteristics and strengths of applying the logistic regression? Firstly, it is able to handle both the categorical and continuous input features. Thus, it is less constrained to apply it in any datasets. In addition, it also performs well with either small or large dataset without losing its accuracy in predicting the relationship and probabilities. For the case where there is multi-correliality happens in a dataset, it actually fits well with the dataset also. Furthermore, it provides an insight into the significance and impact of each features of the dataset. It will not only measure the relevance of an independent variable, but also give an idea about the direction of the relationship, whether it is positive or negative. Lastly, logistic regression is able to provide a probabilities output is quite useful in field of decision making. In a nutshell, logistic regression is very suitable in helping us to predict the risk of developing coronary heart disease within the next 10 years. First, our datasets are consisting of both categorical and continuous independent variables. Therefore, logistic regression is able to handle both types of variable effectively. Furthermore, logistic regression does not require any complex features engineering or extensive computational resources, which make it a perfect choice for our problem. Since we are dealing with a binary classification task in predicting the probability of heart disease occurrence, the logistic regression will provide us a solid foundation for our analysis and decision-making process. So that's all about the machine learning algorithm. Next part is about the model development.
My name is Tracy Liaw again, and I will be taking over for part 3, model development. In part 3, we will be talking about the model development, where the chosen dataset will be divided into testing and training. The dataset will be divided into 9 different fold ratios including 10 to 90, 20 to 80, 30 to 70, 40 to 60, 50 to 50, 60 to 40, 70 to 30, 80 to 20, and 90 to 10. The result for each split ratio will be displayed as confusion matrix in heat map image, receiver operating characteristic curve, also known as ROC curve, and finally the classification report. In the classification report, it's shown that the comparison of accuracy and macro average for the three performance metrics including the precision, the recall, and F1 measures. In confusion metrics, the first row will be showing the value for true positive and false positive. The second row will be showing the value for false negative and true negative. In the ROC curve, the y-axis for the curve is the true positive rate, also known as sensitivity. The x-axis is the false positive rate, also known as 1 minus specificity. Feel free to pause the video to check out the results for each ratio folds of the dataset. The results will be further evaluated in Part 4.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Chong Kar Min, number metric 287173. Now I will be presenting Part 4 of Assignment 3, which focuses on the model evaluation of our dataset. In this session, we analyze the performance of our predictive model in predicting the risk of developing future coronary heart disease. We use different fold ratios for training and testing the model to assess its effectiveness. First of all, let me briefly introduce the rows of performance metrics that we will use in evaluating our model, which are accuracy, precision, recall, error rate, and F1 measure. These metrics provide a comprehensive overview of how well our model performs in classifying indices. The first one is accuracy. Accuracy measures the overall correctness of the predictions. The second one is precision. Precision focuses on the positive predictions made by the model and calculate the ratio of correctly predicted positive indices to the total number of positive predictions. The third one is recall. Recall measures the model ability to correctly identify positive indices by calculating the ratio of correctly predicted positive indices to the total number of actual positive indices. The fourth one is error rate. Error rate is the complement of accuracy, which is 1 minus accuracy. It calculates the proportion of incorrect predictions made by the model. The last one is F1 measure. F1 measure combines precision and recall into a single metric, providing a balanced measure of the model's performance. So now we will compare the results for different fold ratios using those performance metrics that mentioned before. We will compare the micro average score for each fold ratios to account for the class imbalance in our dataset and give equal importance to both precision and recall. Based on the table presented, the best performing fold ratio in our model is 30% for training and 30% for testing, which exhibit the highest values across most performance metrics. It achieves an accuracy of 0.86, precision of 0.79, recall of 0.55, error rate of 0.14, F1 measure of 0.55, and ROC-AUC score of 0.73. ROC-AUC score measures the model abilities to distinguish between positive and negative indices by calculating the area under the receiver operating characteristic curve. Based on our model performance, we have gained several insights. the model achieves an average accuracy of 0.85 to 0.86 across different four ratios, indicating its ability to classify correctly on average. In terms of precision, the model achieves values ranging from 0.67 to 0.79, suggesting that the model has a relatively low rate of false positives and is effective at identifying true positive instances. However, the recall values range from 0.53 to 0.55, indicating that the model may struggle to correctly identify all positive instances, leading to a higher rate of false negatives. The error rate remained consistent at 0.14 to 0.15 across different four ratios, reflecting a relatively low overall rate of incorrect predictions. The F1 measure ranged from 0.52 to 0.55, providing a balanced measure of the model's performance in terms of precision and recall. Lastly, the ROC-AUC score ranged from 0.7 to 0.73, indicating the model abilities to discriminate between positive and negative instances. Overall, based on the scatter plot shown in the slide, the model demonstrates strong performance in accurately predicting the negative values, as evidenced by the high accuracy and low error rate. This indicates its effectiveness in identifying individuals who are not at risk of developing the future coronary heart disease. However, the model performance in predicting positive values representing individuals at risk of developing the future coronary heart disease is relatively weaker. The lower precision recall and F1 measure for the predicted value of 1 suggests that the model struggles to correctly identify these positive instances. The class imbalance issue poses a challenge for the model's performance. By addressing the class imbalance and employing techniques such as oversampling the minority class or adjusting the classification thresholds, the model abilities to accurately predict positive values could be improved. In summary, our model faces several limitations, including class imbalance, limited predictive power, generalization to unseen data, and the need for comprehensive evaluation. The significant class imbalance in the data affects the model's performance, leading to biased predictions and challenges in accurately identifying the minority positive class. The model struggles to correctly identify individuals at risk, resulting in lower precision recall and F1 measure for positive instances. Moreover, the current dataset is specific to the dataset used for training and testing, and may not generalize well to unseen data or different populations. The model effectiveness in predicting future coronary heart disease risk may vary across diverse populations or when applied to new and different datasets. To address these limitations, further improvements can be used, such as exploring alternative algorithms, employing feature engineering techniques, or adopting advanced modeling approach. This enhancement aims to enhance the model's predictive powers for positive instances and mitigate the impact of class imbalance. That's all from our group. Thank you for watching this video.